I'm going to ask now our friend and brother, the Marine Corps veteran, James Smith, to speak to us on behalf of our Black Deported veterans.
Good afternoon. My name is James. I'm an outreach coordinator with the Deported Veterans Advocacy Project. And today I'm also here representing the Black Deported Veterans. It was all, Robert's pretty much said a lot of the things already. The situation for the Black Deported veteran, as any veteran that is not living or currently living by an American border, a U.S. border, that their ability to interact with their families, to get any support from here in the U.S. is multiplied exponentially. The people that are on islands, people in the Philippines, in Australia, India, Russia, every place that is not connected here to the U.S., their situation is the plight is a much more, it has a lot more challenges. So recently, in the past few months, a group of Black Deported veterans and I have gotten together in a group so that we can help raise the awareness, and we understand that by raising the awareness that there are Black Deported veterans, that's going to raise the awareness more about deported veterans. And we encourage people of every culture, religion, or ethnicity to stand up for those people in those veterans in your communities, so that people will understand that this is not a brown problem, this is an American problem all the way across the board. So as we will be representing, and I'll be representing the Black Deported veterans, and we are blessed that they chose to recognize the Black Deported veteran here at this installation. Please, again, we ask that you reach out to your congressmen, your senators, and let them know that this thing has to change. I want to give you some numbers right quick. In 1996, 278 members of the House of Representatives voted to hurt this lady's family. Voted to take these people away from their families and their friends and their communities, without a care of what their character of service was. They didn't care whether you were a hero or not. The bottom line was, if your paperwork wasn't done, get the F out of my country. That was the sign and the notice that is actually there when you see it down at the bottom. 278, that was a 2 to 126. That was a 2-to-1 vote in the House. 72 senators voted to cheer families up, to cheer up the very fabric of what being a veteran is about. They didn't care about our brotherhood or our sisterhood or any of that. They said your honor is negotiable, because this was a money bill. In case none of you ever knew that, if you go back and you find it out, this was all about money. How they saved money or got money out of doing this, I don't know, but they still did. And that was a more than 2-to-1 vote, 72 to 27. So what we understand is that we need Congress to right the wrong that they contributed to. So we need everyone to reach out to their congressmen. People are always asking me, what can we do? Call your congressman, reach out to the people that you guys support in politics, and ask them, what are you doing to bring home these veterans? Okay. Right now, we're going to bring home my brother David Bairu. He's in Kenya. You're on there, David?
I'm here.
Okay. So, well, David, go ahead and tell them your story.
Greetings all. It's an honor to be in this presentation. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Mr. President, the Commander-in-Chief of the United States, Mr. Joe Biden, and his cabinet for paving the way to facilitate support for the repatriation of deported U.S. veterans. And second of all, I would like to thank the DHS, USCIS, and VA for launching the Immigrant Military Members and Veterans Initiative, which will capture the information required to see deported U.S. veterans get back home as soon as possible. And furthermore, I would like to thank the coalition of the Congressional Black and Hispanic Caucus for joining forces to support HR 536 and HR 1182. See the journey of deported U.S. veterans justified respectively. In this Black History Month, Black U.S. deported veterans are a shadow and plight of the occasion, but we are worth being recognized for our cry to be heard and supported by the country we serve and protected. We suffer in different capacities, but we are stretched thin emotionally and mentally to support our families and ourselves. I was recruited in the U.S. Army with my Air Force student visa by a recruiter whose goal was to meet his requirement. The recruiter's greed finally caught up with him when he was court-martialed at Fort Worth, Texas, and found guilty of fraudulently recruiting international students, promising us free education and naturalization respectively. Despite of having no convictions or felonies, and after accumulating many skill sets in the U.S. Armed Forces, and after a last-minute Dallas ICE cancellation of my first naturalization attempt before the interview, I was still deported back to Kenya. The Dallas ICE raid officers at my Irving apartment in Texas saw them confiscate my military certifications and my VA medical card. Being deported to Kenya wasn't easy also. Kenya is a diverse country when it comes to religion, and as a deported U.S. veteran, my status makes me a positive target to Muslim radicals in the region. These radicals have terrorized schools, malls, public transportation, and the most horrific day when they bombed the Kenya U.S. Embassy in 1998, which saw a substantial number of fatalities in local citizens, American embassy, but importantly the U.S. officers who were serving and protecting the U.S. Embassy. My family has suffered also, as affected by the influx of job opportunities in Kenya. Moving from one town to another is exhausting. The well-off companies in Kenya are Muslim-oriented, and it becomes a dilemma when you are searching for work. This short need to be stretched out, isolated in different occasions, not knowing when the future holds for my family. I get a little assistance from my affiliated deported friends to see me through these setbacks, but in the reality of things, I need substantial assistance from the VA to secure claims and benefit from hardships. Last but not least, our leader is representing U.S. citizens in Congress and Senate should not entertain the deportation of U.S. veterans in hostile environments. This is evidently put deported veterans in harm's way and has embarrassed the country internationally by exposing the discrimination of people of color, despite of serving and protecting the Constitution of the United States of America. So for our Black deported veterans, we just need to learn from this journey and embrace the sovereignty of true believers that God's prayers are always answered. Amen to all, and thank you for listening.
Delivered, brother. All right. Okay, so again, that was David Bairu. He was calling from Kenya. All right, and if you didn't catch on, he never committed a crime. He came here on a dream. He hit the lottery as someone coming from Africa, coming from Kenya, to come here as a student. Ran into a recruiter, and the recruiter sold him a bill of goods just to meet their quota. And he wound up serving a couple of years in the Army. They discharged him. They allowed him to re-enlist in the Air Force Reserves, and he served several more years there before ICE came and interrupted his stay here. Every veteran organization should be a part of fixing this issue. I have reached out myself to all the Black veteran organizations that I saw or was able to find on Facebook. And to this point right now, I can't say that we got a response back from the NAACP, so we're going to see where that goes and leads on from there. But they shouldn't be the only one. National Action Network, Urban League, Buffalo Soldiers, and every other organization, veteran organization that is out there, Veterans Infinite, whatever it is, you should be in this fight to bring back veterans. So that, please go home. When you go home from here, if you are an advocate in any way, please post about this situation that you see here. Please repost this incident, and please reach out to your political leaders and ask them what they're doing to help bring back these people.